Hello, and welcome to today's Focus on the Test mini lesson. Welcome to all of our subscribers, and thank you very much for joining us. Also to our students, continue the excellent progress that you're making, and remember that your labor is not in vain. It will pay off in the end. If you're an adult seeking to earn your high school credential, be sure to check out our website at www.yourpathforadultlearners.com, where you can learn more about our online GED and Hiset program. So now on to our lesson for the day.
Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing fantastic. In today's lesson, we're going to actually look at adding and subtracting decimals. So we're going to select a few problems so that we can work through them together. So let's look at problems 1 and 5 from part 1 of this lesson. And from part 2, we'll look at a few, perhaps number 10 and number 17. Okay, so let's go to the whiteboard. Enroll in Your Path today and get access to what our students get access to daily. Get access to online personalized GED, Hiset, and TAPE courses, 24 hours, 7 days a week, individualized instructional guidance and a progress plan, study workbooks, learning materials and tools to reinforce your learning, tutoring, cap and gown, diploma cover, certificate of completion, test fees reimbursement, professional career academic coaching from IFC certified coaches, and next step services. Enroll today. Your Path wants to take a moment to congratulate its 2022 graduates. Congratulations, graduates, a job very well done. We are looking forward to more graduates. You still have time. 2022 is not over yet. We have a few announcements. Congratulations to Mr. Antone on earning perfect Hiset scores in social studies and science. Congratulations, Mr. Antone, a job exceptionally well done. Welcome to our new board members, Dr. Jones, Vice Chairman, Dr. Moulton, Secretary, Dr. Berkeley, Committee Member, and Dr. Haley, Committee Member. It is our summer break. Your Path is on summer break from July 1st through July 31st. We will resume regular operating hours on August 1st, 2022. Enjoy your summer break, everyone. Your Path would like to take this opportunity to say happy birthday to all of our students born in the month of August. We are wishing you a happy birthday and may you see many more to come. Okay, so I already have the first problem written up on the board. So we have 31.13 subtract 11.45. So we're going to subtract 11.45 from 31.13. Now let's discuss how to do that. Let me get my pen. All right, so when we look in the hundredths column, let's come over here to the place value chart so that you can understand what I mean when I refer to the placement of these numbers, okay? So here we have our decimal here. When you look over here, you see that your decimals are aligned, okay? So they need to be aligned whenever you're adding or subtracting decimals, okay? In this case, we're going to subtract, but it doesn't matter. They still need to be aligned, okay? Now, when I refer to these columns here, and these are the columns to the right of the decimal, these are parts of a whole. They are not whole numbers, okay? So in this case, they are referred to, this is going to be your 10th column, and this will be your 100th column, okay? As you see right here. So the numbers directly behind the decimal will be referred to as your 10th column. The next row will be referred to as your 100th column. And if you had 3 digits behind the decimal, they will be referred to as your thousandths column, okay? So we're only going to be referencing the tenths column and the hundredths column, okay, in this case. But we will also reference what's in front of the decimal, which are whole numbers. So 31 and 11 are going to be considered whole numbers, but they also have a place value. And this column here, where you see the ones, are referred to as your ones column. Okay, so that's your ones placement value. This column here will be referred to, where we have the 3 and the 1, would be referred to as the tens column. Okay, this is the tens. And if you had more digits, which we do not, we would refer to them as appropriately, right? So if we had 3 digits, we will have hundredths. That will be the place value. If we had 4 digits, thousandths, and 10,000s, 100,000s. Then we get into the millions, and then the billions, okay? So you will want to memorize this chart to help you understand the place value of the numbers, okay, when dealing with decimals. Okay, so now that I've discussed the place value chart, let's go over here to the problem. So here we have 5 subtracted from 3. So we have 3 take away 5. Well, we know that we cannot take 5 from 3 because 3 is a smaller number than 5. So in this case, we will borrow from the tenths column, okay, which is this column right here. We're going to actually take a 10 from the tens column, all right? When we do that, we're going to add this 10 to the 3, and that's going to make this 3 a 13. And that's going to make this 1 a 0 because we actually took an entire 10 from this column. So it brings it down to 0. So now we are ready to subtract 5 from 13 because 13 is a larger number than 5, so we can do that. So when we subtract 5 from 13, we get 8. Now we move over to the tenths column, but we have 4. We have 0 take away 4. We know that we cannot take 4 from 0 because 0 is a smaller number than 4, right? So we have to now borrow from the next column, which in this case will be the ones column, and we're going to borrow a 10 from the ones column, which in this case will give us 10. So we can take away 10. We can take away 4 from 10 because 10 is a larger number than 4. When we subtract 4 from 10, we get 6. Okay? We're going to align our decimals, so we're going to bring down the decimal. Okay? Now this 1, when we borrowed a 10 from this column, from the ones column, it actually became a 0. So now once again, we have 0 take away 1. Well, we know we cannot take 1 from 0. So again, we need to borrow from the next column. We're going to borrow a 10 from the tens column. This 3 will now become a 2 because we're going to borrow 1 from that number here. This 0 becomes a 10 because we borrowed from it. So now we can subtract 1 from 10 because 10 is a larger number than 1. So this becomes 9 when we subtract 1 from 10. Okay, and now we can go over to the next column. In this column, we have 2 take away 1. So we're going to subtract 1 from 2. We can do that because 2 is a larger number than 1. So if we have 2 and we take away 1, that leaves us with 1. So in this case, when we subtract 31.13, when we subtract 11.45 from 31.13, we get 19.68. Now we can check this answer by adding 19.68 and 31.45 so that we can get so we can get 31.13 if we add the two. So let's do that. We're going to check our answer by adding these two. We're just going to reverse the subtraction by adding these two, and we should get this number right here when we do that. So let's do that. We have 19.68, and we're going to add 11.45. And you will notice that we're going to do this in the second half of the assignment as well, okay? So here we're checking our work to make sure that this 19.68 is the correct answer when we subtract 11.45 from 31.13. Here we have 8 plus 5 is 13. We add a 3 here. And then we carry our 1. I'm going to change my pen. So we carry a 1. And we put that in the tenths column. And now we have 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 1 is 11. So we're going to write 1 here. And we're going to carry the other 1, but we're going to also bring down our decimal point. So we're going to carry the other 1 over to the other column. Because remember, we were borrowing these 1s when we were subtracting. So when you add them, you're just adding them back to the respective column, right? So here we have 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 1 more is 11. So we're going to add that 1 here and then carry the other 1 over to the next column because we did borrow this 1 from the column, from the tens column when we subtracted. So we're just adding it back to the column. Now we have 1 plus 1 is 2, plus this 1 we just added will give us 3. And as you see, we now have 31.13, which we have right here as well, 31.13. Okay? So now let's go to our next problem. Okay? Now we're going to look at adding decimals. So I'm going to copy this problem here and carry it to the whiteboard. Okay, let me paste it. I'm aligning my decimals because your decimals must be aligned, and that's very important. And I'm going to draw my line here. So now we're adding decimals together. So let me change my pen. Now we have 7 plus 5 is 12. Okay, so we're going to put the 2 here. We cannot write 12 in this column here because remember, these are placements. These are place values. So we can only put one number at a time, okay? So we're going to put the 12 here and we're going to carry the 1 over to the next column, okay? So remember, this is the hundredths column according to the chart here. Now we carry this 1 over to the tenths column, So here we have 4 plus 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So we're going to put our 7 here. Now we don't have any other digit that we need to carry over. It's a single digit, so we just put it here, 7. Okay? 12 is a double digit, so we had to carry over the 1 because we can only put one digit in a placement. Okay? In a place. So now we're going over to our ones column. As you see, these numbers are in front of the decimal, so they will be considered as being in the ones column. So here we have 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 is a single digit, so we just write 7 here. Moving over to the next column, which is our tens column, which is right here. We have 7 plus 1 is 8, so we just write 8 here. So when we add 71.47 plus 16.25, we get 87.72 as our answer. Now we can actually check this answer by subtracting. So we're going to do the reverse of addition, and we're going to subtract. And when we subtract, we should get our top answer, or our top numbers here. Okay, so let's do that. We have 87.72, that's a point, 0.72, minus, now we're going to subtract because we're doing the opposite. Like here, we added because addition is the opposite of subtraction. Here we're adding, so we're doing the opposite of addition, which is subtraction. So we're going to subtract 1625 from 87.72. Okay, now let's subtract. Here we have 2 take away 5. We know that we cannot take 5 from 2 because 2 is a smaller number than 5. So in this case, we need to take from the next column 10. We need to take 10 from the next column. So when we add 10 to 2, we get 12. So this 2 becomes 12. And this 7 is reduced to 6 because we actually took a 1. In this case, it's actually 10, but you can refer to it as 1. We took 1 away from this number here, but we actually took 10 away from this value. Okay, so this is going to reduce to 6. So now we can subtract 5 from 12 because 12 is a greater number than 5. When we do so, we get 7. Okay, now we have 6, 2 subtracted from 6. Or 6 take away 2. 6 take away 2 will give us 4. Okay, we don't need to borrow from the next column because 6 is greater than 2, so we can easily subtract 2 from 6 and get 4. Okay, now we're going to bring down our decimal. Remember, they must be aligned. And we're going to move over to our ones column. All right, which is right here, the ones column. 7 can take away 6, so we do not need to borrow because 7 is a greater number than 6, so we can just simply subtract. And when we subtract 6 from 7, we get 1. So we're going to put 1 here. Now we can move over to our tens column, and 8 is a greater number than 1, so we can take away 1 from 8 without borrowing any numbers. We can just simply subtract, and we have 8 take away 1 will give us 7. So our answer, 87.72, is correct because when we do the reverse, we get 71.42, which is what we started with, and that is up here. Okay, so we checked our answer, and it is correct. Okay, now let's go back to our sheet, our assignment sheet. We're going to go to the second half of the lesson, which states find the missing number. Okay, now this portion is simple. All you're doing is you're subtracting. Wherever you have addition, you're subtracting. Okay, so let's look at number 10. So we're going to look at number 10 and number 17. Okay, so number 10, we have a missing number here. We don't know what it is, but we have plus 25 plus 2.5, equals 3.9. Well, the way you find the missing number here is by subtracting. You're going to take what you have, and I'm going to use my calculator for this one. Okay, so you're going to take the information that you already have. Let's clear the calculator. And we're going to take our outcome, okay, which is 3.9. We have 3.9, and we're going to subtract the 2.5 from the 3.9 so that we can figure out what is our unknown, okay? So subtract 2.5, and our unknown is going to be 1.4. Okay, so 1.4 is the missing number for number 10. Now, when we add 1.4 and 2.5, we should actually get 3.9. Okay, let's do that. So we're going to clear the board. We're going to add 1.4 plus 2.5. And as you see, We are correct, and our outcome or our answer is 3.9. Okay? So 1.4, once again, is the correct answer for number 10. Now let's look at number 17. We're going to clear the board, clear the calculator, and we're going to come over here to number 17. So for number 17, we need to know what is the outcome, what is the missing number here. When we subtract 23.89, it should give us 13.19, okay? So in order to find out what is this missing number, wherever you have a subtraction sign here, you need to add these two together, all right? Likewise, if you have an addition sign here, you need to subtract in order to find the missing number, okay? So let's do that for number 17. We're going to add, because we have subtraction here, we're going to add these two here. So we're going to clear the board, and we have 23.89 plus 13.90 equals. So our unknown for number 13 is going to be 37.79. Okay? Now, in order to check our answer, we should be able to take 37.79, which is our missing value, right? Subtract 23.89 from it, and we should get 13.90. Let's do that. Okay, so we're going to clear the board. We know that the first value is going to be 37.79. We are subtracting 23.89, and we should get 13.90, which that is the correct answer, 13.90. And there will actually be a 0 behind this 9, but because it is 0, the calculator doesn't show the 0. It just gives you 13.9, but it would actually be 13.90. Okay, so our answer of 37.79 is the correct answer for number 17. Now, I hope that this lesson has helped you all. I am sure that it will help our students as they are required to complete lessons like these in their coursework. I'm wishing you all a great day. Stay blessed.
So good luck testing. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification button down below so that you're notified on our new releases. Also, join us on our other social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.